Hey, everybody. What if networking and taking pictures could be easy? I know it's not everybody's forte, but the guests that I have for you today are going to be helping you with exactly that. First, we have Stephanie Bonte-Lebert, who is going to be talking to us about how she uses networking to help not only herself, but the creative business owners that she works with. And on the next level stage, I have got for you an amazing photographer who goes by the expression coach. His name is Lamonte. I've got all this and more coming up for you on the Business Breakout.
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll
With an attitude so good, so fresh, just the way you like it. I am so pumped for this second show of the second season of the Business Breakout. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Ella Glasgow, and I am your host and the Director of Funability at Beyond Virtual Events, where we help businesses, small and large, to have impactful virtual events. And this happens to be the virtual event that we produce bi-monthly on the first and third Wednesday of every month. And I am not here alone. I told you I've got some guests that are absolutely ready to bring the heat for you today. Say hey, guys. We are going to be rocking it out with them today. But before we get into it, I know that you are on LinkedIn as well as YouTube and Facebook and all of the other things. But I want to talk with you a little bit about LinkedIn. It can be a challenge, a real challenge to figure out how in the world to use that platform. And doing things right on that platform can be daunting, especially if you're using it to grow your business, because it's no longer just about your resume. But not to worry, I've got a segment just for you from some of my favorite LinkedIn experts that are going to tell you how to do life on these LinkedIn streets.
Hello, my name is Andy, and here's my LinkedIn tip. Do not try to manipulate the LinkedIn algo by colluding with others to provide pre-planned engagement. In other words, don't join or be a member of engagement pods. It's against the rules, and most people can see when you're doing this kind of cheating. Don't use automation software to visit profiles or send connection requests. This is a big no-no and could result in you being suspended. And when you're suspended, LinkedIn makes it very hard for you to get back online. Simply not worth the risk.
It is not worth the risk to get your account suspended for things like engagement pods. And it may be something that you may have heard other people using. Maybe people have offered it to you, but I would definitely encourage you to stay away from those and stay tuned to the Business Breakout and some of my other favorite LinkedIn experts that are out there in the LinkedIn streets giving you all kinds of good advice on how to make your experience on LinkedIn the best experience on LinkedIn. So I promised you that I have two incredible guests today that are going to be helping you make your networking experiences better. So first up, I have for you a lady who is not only a networking genius, she's also a professional singer, and she does some really cool things, helping to bring performance to the keynotes that she gives, while also helping you to understand how to network powerfully. Please welcome to the stage Miss Stephanie Bonte Lebert. Hello,
Hey,
Stephanie.
Ella, so great to be here with you.
I am so excited to be here with you, and I'm so glad that we are able to have this conversation today because when it comes to networking, specifically for creative people, we have trouble. We have issues. And Stephanie, you and I both come from the musical world, and I would love to hear a little more about your backstory. What got you into doing what it is that you do today with helping creatives network and bank? Because I know that you do something with bank as well.
Yes. So I have been a singer since I was 3 years old, and I always knew I wanted to sing. I went to college, got my bachelor's and master's in vocal performance, moved to New York City, sang in operas, musicals, cabaret, dinner theater, you name it. Met my husband on Match.com and found myself living in Maryland, outside Washington, D.C., and I was a singing teacher. That was my original business. So I was teaching kids and adults how to sing. And I had a friend take me to a business networking event, and I loved it. I loved it so much. It was just another version of a stage. And I was a business owner, although I have to admit, I had never done business networking before. I always got my clients because someone would see me sing somewhere and they would say, "Do you teach?" And I would say, "Sure." But when I went to that business networking event, I saw possibilities. I was really interested in what the next level of my business was going to look like. I was feeling a little bit bored, just to be perfectly honest with you. And I saw how singing and auditioning and selling yourself translates to networking, because as a business owner, you have to walk into that networking event. You have to make a great first impression. You have to have a very clear message so people understand what it is that you do and they can decide whether they want to work with you. So next thing you know, I'm running this networking group that my friend takes me to. I become the managing director of the chapter, and I'm leading that group for a few years. I continued my journey with another networking group, and then I finally launched my own networking group in January of 2020. And then we all know what happened in March. They all went virtual. I was already in the virtual space. I decided to go virtual. And I was there and was able to attract people like me because I'm a creative and I was a creative business owner. So I attract them.
Yes, I okay. She, I love that the group became yours. They were like, just take it because
So
so
true.
and I mean you think us people that are on the stage that we naturally want to take over things, but that's not always the case. That's not all. We're not here to just try and take over everything. So so I would love to know then the people that were coming into your business that were just like you. I know when you say that you're not specifically just talking about just singers were coming into the group.
No.
You're talking
Yeah.
about all kinds of creatives. What is it that you were able to help them do, especially now with your new empowered business network? How are you able to help them translate their artistic creative skills into networking in a way that helped them to grow their business?
Yeah. Well, first, it's important to understand who a creative entrepreneur is, because they are someone who is literally creating, whether it's programs, podcasts, books, copy, they're creating things. And then they are wanting to share it with the world. They're wanting to make a difference by sharing their creation with the world. And creatives don't work well in certain networking situations. So creatives can be very touchy when it comes to sales. They don't like to be sold to. They can feel awkward asking even for a referral at a networking event because it's too soon. I don't know you that well. I need to make a deeper connection before we can have that conversation of how we can support each other. And so a lot of networking events that you'll go to as a creative can feel energetically misaligned. So I wanted to create a place where I knew that creatives could feel welcomed, could feel like they were in a safe space, And also, really important, they could learn how to use networking to leverage for what I call empowered partners. So, an empowered partner is that person who you're meant to collaborate with, and creatives love to collaborate. So, it's a win win.
Yeah, we really do like to collaborate, and it's important what you're saying to understand what type of person you are when you get into group situations so that you can be in that situation in an effective way. Because you're right, there's so many of us creatives that do not like the traditional networking process, which traditionally people are like, hi, here's my card. And it feels like a violation to us. And it's interesting now in this landscape that it's not just creatives that are feeling that way, which is why I was really excited to have you on the show, because we've come to a place where nobody wants to network traditionally anymore. People are tired of
Yeah.
starting with, here's my business card. We want to actually get to know each other so we can have the whole know, like, and trust. But we got to do the
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So what are you also seeing, and what are those next steps after we've figured out who we are in the space? You talked about
Yeah.
leveraging networking. How does one
Yeah.
really do that effectively?
Well, if you go to a networking event and your intention is to find a partnership, not a prospect, but a partnership, suddenly you have leveraged yourself immensely, because then you're going to connect yourself to someone who's probably connected to your ideal prospects. And now they can help create visibility for you. And so you leverage yourself when you're able to use your voice in front of groups of people. So, just like this here today, we are collaborating together, creating visibility for each other, and we're able to leverage our connection rather than me trying to say, Ella, are you my client? Should I, would you like to buy my product or service? I mean, that is a conversation you can have, but this is a much better way to network and use networking time so that you are able to create a lot more than just finding a prospect in the room.
Yeah, that that's key, right? Because you're building out what one of my friends used to call your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you may not want everybody in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Which is important to think about even on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
We're not just taking in everybody when you're thinking about this in the way that Stephanie's talking about, being strategic in
Yeah.
who you invite to be a part of your space, who you invite to be a part of your circle, because if the cards get played right, sometimes it means that you're going to have a relationship that turns into you you having a new client, which
Hmm.
is that new person that you're working with. But sometimes it means that that person now knows you well enough and feels comfortable enough with you that they're willing to share you and your services to their network. And
Yes.
sometimes, Stephanie, you tell me if you know that, if you feel I'm right on this. There's a third. Sometimes you may be in the same field and now they know who they can call if they can't take a particular job.
Yes. Yes. You want to be able to create referral partners at different levels. So there can be that occasional referral partner that maybe you see every once in a while at a networking event who happens to be thinking about you. And then you have that referral partner who's like, these are not my ideal clients, but they are yours. Will you take them from me? And now you're going to have more consistent people coming. And then you're going to want to have that referral partner who's like, can we do something together? Would you like to create a workshop with me? Would you like to be on a summit with me? Would you like to, I don't know, package our services together so that we're giving our services to each other's, clients? Like there are so many different levels of working with someone, and this is what I'm teaching my community to do, is to identify who is that ideal person for you, and then what are the strategies in place that you can, proven strategies that people use all the time, that you can tune into and decide, this is how I want to use this relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Stephanie, you and I could sit here and talk about this and many other things all day. However, however, I am so grateful that you were here for this amount of time to be able to give these juicy nuggets to people. Before I let you go, and Stephanie is going to be gone for just a little bit. She's not leaving forever. Okay. But we have to keep the show rolling. Stephanie, if there's one thing that you would tell a creative entrepreneur that they need to do right now, that they can get some quick progress and action going, what is that one thing that you would leave them with right now?
I would say show up to a networking event with a strong call to action. And that is not get on a phone call with me or take my free coaching call that I use, which is really a sales call. It is a strong call to action that has compelling value, limited amount of availability, and you're providing an easy way to click on a link, especially in like a Zoom networking meeting. The minute you create that, you're going to start creating momentum.
I love it. I love it. I know that you have an event coming up on October 5th that people can practice what you're talking about.
Yes. And I would love to give your viewers a free ticket, Ella, because normally it's $88 to come to one of my events. So if you want a free ticket to come visit my event, you're going to go to ebnticket.com and you can opt in, and then you'll get all the information you need to know about my next event and how to show up and engage with other creatives.
I love it. I love it. Free tickets. You get a ticket. You get a ticket.
That's right. That's right. Strong call to action.
See, she is demonstrating exactly what she told you to do. Thank you so much, right, Stephanie. Thank you so much for all of that. And what Stephanie is saying is so incredibly important for you as a creative entrepreneur, as a business owner, as someone who works in a corporation who is trying to grow your influence, your circle of influence, to be able to take these steps to understand who it is that you are in these particular situations, so that when you get into a networking event and in front of people, that you can do all of these things effectively. And one of the other things that's important with your networking, especially on LinkedIn and some of your other social media profiles, is your headshot. And I have a person here for you that is amazing at making those things happen for you, at helping you to be able to express yourself through the image that you put on the screen. And we've got Chrissy saying that this was some great advice that she is hearing today. I love that. Thank you so much, Chrissy, for being here live with us today. And I want to introduce to you my next guest. Like I said, he is a photographer and he goes by the Expression Coach. Please welcome Lamonte Gwynn.
My name is Samuel Arms.
Hi, my name is Melanie.
Hi, my name is Jalen Blair.
Hi, my name is Dr. Selena Dozier.
My name is Gal Gigi Golfer.
My name is Eric Brody.
My name is Dominic C. Clark.
Hi, my name is Blake.
Hi, my name is Nigel Bogart with 5-Star Claims Adjusting. I just wanted to say today my session was absolutely amazing.
Post-shoot, right now, this has exceeded my expectations.
It was an awesome experience. I expected to just take a picture. It was a whole engaging, motivational time.
Today, I had an amazing experience, 100%, 10 out of 10 would recommend Lamonte G Photography.
I have yet to find anyone that can take my emotions, my expressions, everything that I'm trying to deliver out in a picture and just get it out straight into the perfect content.
The end result was great. I've never actually seen pictures of myself looking that confident and comfortable. It was a great experience and I'm happy about it.
And he's really able to get stuff out of you that I didn't think you would be able to get out of me. So overall, very pleased.
I looked at the first photo he took of me and the last photo he took of me. The way he was able to bring the emotion out in the photo was unbelievable.
I would highly recommend check him out. The photos look amazing already and he hasn't even retouched them. So again, Lamonte G Photography, simply amazing.
Yes, Lamont Gwynn of Lamonte G Photography, the myth, the legend. Please welcome to the stage, Lamont. Hey, Lamont.
What's going on, Ella?
Oh, nothing much. We're just here, talking about networking and pictures and how they're important and whatnot. How are you?
I am amazing. It's a great day. Let me just first say that the information that Stephanie shared was so invaluable. Like, I just stepped up my networking game. So thank you so much, Stephanie.
Right? It's good stuff. And you and I, Lamont, met at a networking event in Orlando when you had just moved to Orlando. That was now 4 years ago?
Yep.
The power of networking, right?
Yes. Exactly.
And I remember when I met you, one of the things that stood out to me about you was the way that you did photography. It was so different than what I had seen in the area, especially when it comes to taking pictures of business folk, which sometimes the pictures happen to be a little bit stodgy.
Yep.
So how did you flip the script and change the game for people in business getting their pictures done?
So it started with me when I realized that taking a picture for me wasn't just a visual experience. I had to actually feel something from the picture. And when I came to that realization, I started working on how do I get to the emotion of people. And early on in my career, it would be this warm up period. So the client would come in. I used to be a social introvert. That's why I'm behind the camera. So they would come in. I would be uncomfortable. They would be uncomfortable. This whole half hour kind of trying to get familiar with each other. And I knew that I needed to break out of that. So I just dug deep in the book, How to Get People to Like You in 90 Seconds or Less by Nicholas Boothman, taught me a couple of things about myself that I didn't know. And once I started applying some of the principles of NLP into my photography, I began to make shifts, not just in the way that I approached my work, but I began to make shifts in people's lives as they came in to take pictures.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's big right there. I am curious to know now how you now are taking these skills that you have with NLP, because NLP, like that goes deep. Like NLP is deep. I got like halfway through my certificate training. It's long. It's a lot of work. But how are you now taking those skills to bring out these amazing, incredible expressions? And I know that we have some people here, some pictures here of different subjects that you took pictures of. But before we go into showing them, tell me a little bit more about how you pull those expressions out.
So as I was going down this journey of learning how to tap into people, I came to the realization that there are two ways we can do it. One is through memory. If I can get you to tap into a really great emotional experience through a memory, we can really hit something. So I have a picture of a gentleman who I asked him. I was taking like 200 pictures. Went to his office, took like 200 photos. Nothing was clicking. He said, "Can you come to the office? Can I come to your studio?" I said, "Yes." During that time, I asked him about his wife, and he just melted. And I was like, that's it. But oftentimes, the thing about memory is I could ask a question to bring up a bad memory. So I had one client in the studio, and I said, "Tell me about your kids." And she was like, "Listen, I don't want to talk about my kids because they stress me out." So I realized that memory isn't necessarily the way to go. So I started tapping into imagination. And when we go into imagination, the creative mode, man, some of the things that I'm able to get people to imagine is amazing. And it actually, then what we do is infuse that energy of creation in imagination into their photos.
Oh, that is cool. Do you find that when you are tapping into people's imaginations, do you find that it's easy for them to imagine, or do you also have to help them along with that? Because some people feel like they don't see imagination very clearly. So how do you help them with that when you're in the photography process?
So interesting. You would be surprised how many people, when I say, "Tell me where you see yourself in 5 years," who have to say, "I never thought about that." And so what I do with folks is we really go into, where do you see yourself? And then we build on that. So sometimes people do have a hard time seeing their future in a positive way. And so they'll say, I've had people say, "Well, I see myself making I want to make $100,000, for instance." I always double or triple whatever anybody says. So it's really building on that imagination and being able to then see the reality, saying, "Wait a minute, am I thinking too small? Can I think bigger?" And when we get in that process, then there's this shift that happens, the emotion is there, and we take a great photo.
Yeah, I love that. And like I said, we've got a couple of pictures here of one gentleman in particular who you helped get through this process. Can you talk with us a little bit about who is this man?
So his name is Gal Gigi Golfer. He's in the solar industry. And so he is leading a solar group, and he really needed a headshot that represented leadership, that represented confidence. And so we use some of those techniques to get him into that confident space. And then about a year and a half later, he called me. He says, "I'm working on a new project that doesn't have anything to do with business. It's a passion project." So in that passion project, I knew that this look would not work for what he was doing.
Right.
So the technique changed. And so we're able to get him into a really high energy, really happy place where he doesn't look like he is using his, what I call cheese smile, the smile we all grew up with, but he's actually tapping into real happiness in that moment. And by doing that, you can tell that this guy's happy.
Right. Right. That is incredible that you're able to pull these things out of people, especially seeing those two different emotions, because we're such emotional beings, and being able to have somebody like you to not just take a picture, but take a picture that really does speak 1,000 words with that one shot and help invite us in to the story that we're telling through our eyes that you helped pull out of us in that moment. Lamonte, thank you so much for being here with me today. In fact, I want to thank both you and Stephanie for being here with me today. It has been incredible hearing from and learning from both of you. And Lamonte, if there's one thing that you can leave with our audience that they can go today and take a better picture.
I would say you are photogenic, no matter what you think about yourself. And secondly, in order to quiet that Dolby surround sound negative head chatter that I say, is go to a place of imagination. Think about the very best possibilities for your life and use that as you move forward in taking a photo.
Thank you so much, Lamont. Go with him and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Use your imagination to help you get into the feeling and bring out those real, genuine smiles and real, genuine emotions so that you can have photographs that show the full expression of you. And the best way to do that is to contact Lamont. He does travel. And I see that we've had people here with us live. Thank you so much for being with us live and taking all of those tips that Stephanie and Lamont gave. And hey, if you have been enjoying your time here with us and you are wanting to know how you could have a live stream or a virtual event that has the same energy as this, or is branded specifically to you, then I want you to know that I'm your gal and I'm ready to talk with you and help you elevate your event. Thank you so much again. And remember that every day is so full of imagination and you are awesome. I'll see you next time.